Football Sunday, 2-minute drill coming up in the next segment. Now we go across the river to MetLife this afternoon, the Steelers and the Jets. And Jim Nantz and Phil Simms will be joined by Bill Cowher, the former Steeler coach, will be part of the trio in the booth today. Jim, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. I'm here with Coach Cowher. And, this is today the pregame show on CBS NFL Today. It goes on the road. So Boomer will be up in Buffalo. Shannon will be out in Denver with their old teams. And, of course, Coach Cowher's here as the Steelers take on the Jets. A game that became even a whole lot more interesting, I think, Michael, after that great Monday night performance by the Jets. You know, suddenly here they are 3-2, exceeding almost everybody's expectations. And I'm looking forward to seeing them in action.
Well, the other thing is quite ironic that the ex-Steeler coach would be in the booth as the Steelers try to break out of what has been a month of misery. The very proud Steelers right now can't find a win and really can't get out of their own way.
Well, just the numbers are astonishing. I mean, how you go 4 weeks without the ball bouncing at least one time into your hands and, you know, creating a single takeaway, not one to this point for a Dick LeBeau defense. It's hard to imagine. Their offensive line has been a disaster. They've made changes in their bye week, you know, since they lost over in London 2 weeks ago. And, you know, I really do think that they're going to have a different kind of vibe here today. I'm not saying that they're going to come in here and beat the Jets because I think New York is really riding high, but I do think they're going to play a lot more inspired football, Pittsburgh.
How did you find Mike Tomlin? He's always all business, but was he any different than you've seen him in the past now that his team is 0-4?
You know, first off, it was interesting, the dynamics of it, because you got Coach Cowher sitting in on a production meeting, and, you know, he's not sitting at the head of the table, you know, and he's got his successor sitting there, Coach Tomlin, and you know, Bill. Yeah, he's really good at this, and you know he asked questions as like a neutral observer, you know, playing the role of that. But I asked Tomlin, you know, what do you come back and tell the team? 0-4, long trip back from London, extra week off, and he said, look, I sat down and just laid it out for him. The best any team in our division could finish is 14-2. These are his words. The best we could finish is 12-4. Obviously, things are going to happen along the way that you can't forecast, but the way I look at it, this is Mike Tomlin talking, we are 2 games back in the loss column. You know, the other 3 in their division, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, all 3-2. They played an extra game. They're all 3-2. Steelers are sitting here at 0-4. They feel like they're 2 games out in the loss column. That's the way he's talking to the team. You know, if they can get something going this week, they return home next week. They play Baltimore. And again, you got a chance, if you get any momentum going on the Steelers side, you still tell your team this season's not lost yet.
How about Roethlisberger? How'd you find him?
Well, you know, I think he's very encouraged because of this kid Le'Veon Bell, who debuted over in London, scored a couple of touchdowns. And I think he views Bell as their best chance to have a big-time running back in Pittsburgh, and not to disparage like a Willie Parker, but since Jerome Bettis. And he's not making Bettis comparisons, but, you know, Ben now, in his 10th year, has suddenly taken on the role here of, you know, the sage, the veteran. You know, this is his team. And he told us last night about sitting down with Bell and saying, you know, this city, you have a chance to own this city. And what this town loves more than anything is defense and running the football. And you have a chance. He sees the talent in this kid to one day really be the toast of the town, to be one of the big-time running backs in Pittsburgh history. Those are the words of Roethlisberger. That's what he sees in this kid. And I think he's excited now. You know, the kid's had another 2 weeks to try to get that Liz Frank injury in his right foot completely healed, because we talked to him too, and Bell said he was not 100% in London. He played well over there, but he said he's a much better condition health-wise than he was in his debut game.
What about Rex Ryan? Now that his team is playing better than expected, how'd you find him?
You know, Rex is always very candid, and I think hey, look, that was one of the best coaching jobs I've seen by a staff in a long time, what they did down in Atlanta. Atlanta had to have that game. I mean, they had all the ingredients there. Morningwig did a tremendous job calling plays. They had a goal line stand. In fact, when I made that observation to Rex, he felt like they had 2 goal line stands. He didn't agree with the penalty at the end of the game. They gave Atlanta another shot. But I think they're feeling really good about things. This team is buying in, to what the Jets are selling. And, did anybody think they'd be 3-2 right now? I mean, just some really, really strong signals coming from the Jets right now. And Gino comes off of by far his best performance. And I'm looking forward to seeing him play in person.